Assalamu alaikum and hi. Our group decided to choose a housing policy that is implemented by a Malaysia government. Housing Policy or DRN was launched on the 10th of February 2011 by Yab Tan Sri Dato H.J. Muhyiddin bin H.J. Mohd Yassin, which is a Prime Minister of Malaysia nowadays. The aim of the DRN is to provide adequate, comfortable, quality and affordable housing to enhance the well-being of the people. The DRN was created to outline the direction and form the basis for the development and construction of the federal, state and local levels. Jan Mahathir B.T. Mohamad said with the implementation of this policy in the future, he believed that the housing sector will contribute significantly to the country's economic growth and directly help Malaysia has a desire to become a nation that has level of progress and quality of life as developed countries. Here is the several policy problem that we had detected. The first one is increasing in housing price. Poor economic stability can lead to high house prices. Nowadays, the COVID-19 outbreak home prices are expected to drop by 10%. Price adjustments and real estate transactions took place just as the post-1997 financial crisis compilation took place. Next, increasing in house debt. High levels of household debt remain a major source of macroeconomic risk and further to financial stability. The decision to buy a home is very important and a big step in one's life. The effects of rising living costs and daily expenses have left them unable to afford a home. Existing income is used to cover other commitments such as personal financing, vehicles and other incidental expenses. Therefore, the government has implemented several initiatives including implementing this policy to see that every Malaysian has at least one home of their own, as home ownership is one of the important factors for improving the well-being of individuals and communities. The main objective of the housing policy is to provide a framework for the development of the housing sector to assist the government and the private sector in providing housing based on the demand and needs of each sector. For example, emphasizing the provision of affordable housing for low-income groups. Further, it strengthens the role of the housing sector in the management of conurbation to promote economic growth and provision of habitat. For example, through the housing sector will certainly contribute significantly to the country's economic growth and directly help Malaysia achieve its aspiration to become a country with the same level of progress and quality of life as the developed countries. As illustration, building homes for the people, especially the lower and middle income groups, especially in urban areas. New city-based development with housing for all income groups is also being implemented nationwide in an effort to achieve the government's desire to encourage home ownership among the Bumi Puteras. Ensure that all Malaysians, particularly the low-income groups, have access to adequate and affordable shelter and related facilities. The national housing policy is emphasized through housing programs and strategies outlined in the country's development plan. Housing development also emphasizes the human settlement philosophy through the provision of social services and amenities as well as economic activities necessary for the attainment of better quality of life, national integration and unity. Actors in making this housing policy are multifaceted. Firstly, a government agency. Government officials are involved in policy making over last decade. Government agencies are important actors in the formulation of a policy that needs to be complied with by various parties. Secondly, President or Prime Minister. In the context of a democratic political system, the President or Prime Minister is one who serves as the head of state administration. Next, Congress or Parliament. It is an institution involved and plays an important role such as lawmaking. This is to ensure that the current laws in order to claim the rules in the society or community. The legislative is a body that is held by the highest office in the country such as the Prime Minister and the cabinets. Also, political parties. Political parties engage directly or indirectly. Political parties involve people in politics on a primary channel. According to Maurice Duventure, 1972, political parties and pressure groups are important organizations or institutions that are important in the political process. Lastly, pressure group and interest group. In the U.S., interest group and pressure group are important factors. It affects the policies that the government launches. Besides that, standards are measured in accordance with the wishes of both parties through negotiations, mutual assistance and mutual consent. Ministry of Housing and Strategic Plan 1 Local Government (PSKPKT) is designed to determine the direction the ministry's direction in the era of globalization. Strategic core setting is based the vision, mission and goals of the ministry will be allowing it to stay relevant to the needs of the stakeholders and the customers constantly increasing and constantly changing. The ministry's goal is to realize a comfortable living environment and prosperous for all walks of life in line with Vision 2020. Through setting 9 strategic core, the ministry can fulfilling its goals and responsibilities on the development of the nation integrated. PSKPKT has identified 9 core and strategic outlines programs and activities will be implemented by KPKT to achieve this its vision, mission and objectives. Highly ensure that all departments and divisions under the KPKT will can handle all related ISIS with housing development, planning urban and rural physical, development landscape, life and property protection things, poverty eradication in the city, town services and management solid waste and public cleaning through best work practice application. This PSKPKT is basic and key references in determining strategic planning and implementation, programs and activities of the KPKT during the period outlined. Then keep in mind the success of the planned strategic implementation is imperative understanding and appreciation by all of the ministry's citizens for the purpose to create a living environment quality and sustainable for all people Malaysia is within reach.
Evaluation on the effectiveness of this policy be measured when government can fulfill needs and housing demand of society. Another examples of effectiveness of housing policy can be seen in Malacca, where Malacca state government runs a project Rumah and Rakyat that involve 3,200 units houses of 7 chosen locations start in 2014 until 2018 and addressing the issues of increasing cost of living and quality of life today. Lastly, in Perak, the state authority evaluate the effectiveness of the housing policy in providing an appropriate mix between affordable housing and high-cost housing to enable every citizen in Perak to be given the opportunity to own a home based on their capabilities, strength and weakness. Variety of affordable housing programs runs by the government as in examples like PAD104 2012, in solving the housing problems especially the ability to have own home when it comes to development of housing sector. Next, Public-Private Partnership, PPP. The Housing PPP project is basically focused on the affordable housing that are provided for the low-income earners in examples *1 Malaysia People's Housing Scheme, PAD104, 2012, Advanced Technology and High Management Skills Technologies can help government as a tools to build the quality affordable houses as in examples the use of affordable technology in construction can contribute to low cost of housing like 3D printing homes with local materials provided and so on. Weaknesses in control, monitoring and enforcement of housing laws from several agencies or bodies should be solved. National Land Code 1965, KTN, Housing Development Act, Control and Licensing, 1966, Act 118, and more are few of various laws refers to housing development in Malaysia. Various agency must abide with these regulations to ensuring the housing project can be implemented. Secondly, inefficiency of the public sector in managing low-income housing projects. The state and federal governments play important role in managing this kind of projects with the supervision and monitoring of the Ministry of Housing and Local Government. For examples, the inefficiency to accurately estimate the type of housing needed by locals based on their availability. Thirdly, development of housing depends on government support such as funds or lands. If the funds that given by government is not enough, it's hard for housing developers to build a house. For examples, government give initiative to help low-income group through housing loan scheme also called as Skema Pinjaman Perumahan (SPP) in Malay to finance the cost of building a house. For recommendation, it's important to planning before build it too. We want to make sure every single part is useful and giving benefits. Focus on Bumi Putera. This policy only focus on only Malaysian citizen and no help them from rural. Helping Malaysian citizen can boost more productivity of economic. For conclusion, housing policy is really important to improve someone's life. It may government need to formulate besides improve this policy because of the increasing the growth of population. That's all from our group. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.